Hello, it's me, Queen Sensitivity, and today we're gonna do a pick a card, and it's gonna be called "What Do You Want?" I feel like some really big messages are gonna come out because that's how I feel. I feel like really dramatic. I'll be getting as thorough as I feel guided to, but hopefully in like what's it called, like a good timing. Okay, so this is pile 1. This is pile 2. And then this is pile 3. Okay. Hello, pile number 1. I feel a huge sense, sorry about the dramatic shift. I feel a huge sense of like foreboding. I feel really nervous about something. And I think for you, I'm gonna be getting a quote from the book Thief by Markus, because it does feel like that. It feels very serious. And since I knew I was gonna do this pick a card, I was hearing in my head like, remember that no matter what, everything must return to the 0 point. Everything must return to neutrality. Everything must return to homeostasis. And when the energy is really intense or when you are feeling off, it's really easy to forget that. It's really easy to forget like that there are other things outside of what you're experiencing, and that you are not your thoughts necessarily, you are not your emotions necessarily. You exist beyond any and all attachments. And this is not to say that these, emotions and energies and feelings aren't important and valuable, but I feel like sometimes, and I feel like this is one of the times, it just needs to pass through. I don't know, I'm like seeing different memories, or I'm seeing like flashes in my head, so I'll just go with one that's like pretty general, I think. I don't know, maybe it's in several things, but what I'm picking up is like the imagery from Dune. This is not really a spoiler, but in Dune they have these big ass worms. They're very dangerous, and when one of the people in the community are calling one of the worms to ride, so they can ride through the sand, all the other people stand back and they stand still, and they don't move their feet because the tapping alerts the worms to their attention, because I don't think the worms have eyes or can see. I think they're blind, so they go based off of sound and feelings and stuff. And so while one person is calling the worm to ride, everybody else stands on the side and just like observes. They can cheer and like clap and stuff, but they don't like walk around and move. And I feel like that's the guidance from spirit. Like, this not your worm. This is somebody else's worm. Could be the general collective's worm. But all you need to do at this time is just to stand back, like be a bystander and allow it to pass. So let's just, go ahead and start with, what do you want, or what does spirit want you to know? I'm gonna read over here. So it says presents, number 2 through 5. 1 ribbon, there you go. 1 ribbon, 1 pine cone, 1 button, 1 stone. The soccer ball had given her an idea. Whenever she walked to and from school now, Liesl was on the lookout for discarded items that might be valuable to a dying man. She wondered at first why it mattered so much. How could something so seemingly insignificant give comfort to someone? A ribbon in a gutter, a pine cone on the street, a button leaning casually against a classroom wall, a flat round stone from the river. If nothing else, it showed that she cared, and it might give them something to talk about when Max woke up. When she was alone, she would conduct those conversations. So what's all this, Max would say. What's all this junk? Junk in her mind. She was sitting on the side of the bed. This isn't junk, Max. These are what made you wake up. I feel like if that's not a message from spirit, I don't know what is. So I'm picking up, or I'm feeling that this junk that you're experiencing, this collateral that you're experiencing, it's not junk. It's getting you to wake up. It's leveling you up. You are leveling up. And I don't know, just like imagine somebody, they're moving to a bigger place. When you're moving to a bigger place, you know, have to clean out your drawers and your closet and stuff, and you find all this stuff that you don't need, and why do you even have this? And you have to like remove it and give it away. But this is what I was saying earlier about the worm. It's like you're no longer attached to this stuff. It doesn't have, it's not to do with you. Like an old jacket of, you know, I don't know, your brother or something is in your closet. There's no reason for you to still be connected to it. You don't have to make it yours. You can just, you know, give it away to be reused, or give it up to be recycled. And that's what I'm feeling. So we have 2 new decks that I'm going to be using today. Krans and Eugene something. I forgot. But I feel like I need to go ahead and shuffle these before I get to reading these about what you want, because I feel like once I get started, I'll probably just finish. So we'll just use this to clarify. And then I wanted to do an emphasis today on gratefulness. So we'll get, what are you grateful for? I think it's really important. This is so cool. Look at that. I think it's really important to like have a reading like this, like about what you want, because I feel like it's really easy to assume, you know, why would I want to know what I want? I know what I want, but I feel like sometimes you don't. Or even if you do, it can be nice to just hear somebody else, you know, say it. I think I saw the Tower card. So Spirit, this is for pile number 1. I don't think any of these should be in reverse. I'm feeling this one off the rip. Can I get this one? And one more for this last one. This one. All right, bottom of the deck is the 4 of Swords. So pretty. And before I make it pretty, I'm gonna get what are you grateful for from this Fairies deck. Eugene Fletcher is who this deck is by. Let's set this here. Thank you, Spirit. I will need your help maneuvering through this reading because it feels very intense. It feels kind of like hard to breathe, which is why I took so long to even record this reading, because it's just been a lot. That was so pretty. Okay. What is pile 1 grateful for? Maybe that one will come out. Oh, let's get this one. What is pile 1 grateful for? Just one. Okay. The bottom of the deck is lighting your path. The fairies are very stubborn, which is why I love this deck. This deck does whatever it wants. I prefer my cards to come out like this so I can be surprised, you know, what they are. So I haven't seen any of these, but these wanted to come out this way. It does whatever it wants. So dream on and dawn to dust. So I feel like what you're grateful for is like that stubborn, see, throat chakra. I have like a headache now. Okay. So I just had to like do a little quick little calm down because I got so overwhelmed and I felt dizzy and kind of sick. And I saw in my mind Dune again. This is Dune part 2. So I think there will be spoilers, so I apologize for that. If you don't want to be spoiled, skip ahead. But basically, there's this stuff called like life water or like some sort of elixir, and like it's blue and you drink it, and it's from like these baby worms which are sacred to this planet. And if you drink it, like you have like access to the future, and events, you know what to do. Like it reveals to you truth, because it's like you die. And, you know, once, you know, people die, they're not limited by this linear way of being. And so they have access, you know, to more. And that's why I feel like that's what I saw. Like you drinking, like, I don't know, what was his name? Paul, the character Paul in the movie, drinking this this blue drink. And so I feel like with this coming up with these cards, what you're grateful for, I feel like you're grateful for your gifts and abilities. Like the part of you that is beyond control, the part of you that just can't be tamed, the part of you that is forever mysterious, mystified, because you just can't hold it down. And so I feel like you're grateful for that. With this dream on and then this dawn to dusk, like you're grateful for your soul's ability to be expansive. And like there's like these fairies here. So I feel like you're grateful for the communication that you are able to have with maybe plants or insects or animals. I feel like you just get them. And this is something that you're grateful for. I still feel really, really heated. I hope that this energy does not persist in other piles, because I might not be able to finish. I usually don't edit these videos. I usually just record them in one go, because I don't have the subscription anymore to the video editing software. I can still use it, but it'll just have like the watermark on it. And so I try to record everything in one go, but if I get to pile 2 and this energy is persisting, I will have to stop and come back later, which I really don't want to do. So let me just ask Spirit again. I really didn't anticipate this reading to be so heavy. I thought it was going to be light, because it's, you know, it's what you want. So we have Naye Laurel Kidnell. I probably say that wrong, but it says Transcendence. We have Estanatalehi, Transformation, so 2 T's. Your name might start with a T, or one of your names might start with a T, or like, I don't know, something with the letter T. And then you have Zanel, or your name might start with a Z, Zanel Maholi. So first off, I'm seeing a lot of red. So I feel like what you want has to do with your root chakra. For me, root chakra is about like family and like where you come from and ancestry and, you know, well-worn shoes basically. And so since these are both red and it's what you want, I feel like you want your root chakra to be like open and completely healed. I feel like you want like, I don't know, permission from like your family or like your ancestors, even maybe somebody that's like passed off, to like go be your best self. Because with this transformation and this camera here, it looks like this person is very passionate about what they do. And so I feel like that's what you want. Like you want to be very successful according to yourself, with what you do. And whatever it is you're doing, it does have some sort of connection to your root chakra, to your history, perhaps like family traditions or cultural traditions or some sort of cultural practice is what you want to do. So let's just make this a very specific example. Let's say you're a photographer and you want to take pictures of like that tell the story of your family, or tell the story of, I don't know, whatever country of origin you come from. You want to make like a photo book and get it published. Like that's what you want. You want to be able to do that, and you want people from around the world to be able to see and admire these pictures and to appreciate the value and the unique identity of your heritage. With this green one, you know, if we're going about chakras again, Green to me represents like the heart chakra. But this person, I don't know, this legendary lady is coming off like very like laid back. So I feel like what you also want is this process to be fun, because photography, you know, in my opinion, is a form of journalism. It's a form of storytelling, and I feel like that really quickly can become fairly serious, especially in like different political climates. Like taking a picture of somebody or taking a picture of a statue can be very politically charged in some areas, and so what you want is to have like that be void. Like you don't want to have any trouble doing what you are passionate about, and you don't want to run into this like brick wall or brick rock or hard rock of like, I don't know, the pressures and the political atmosphere of this form of art and this form of storytelling and this form of celebration. You want your hair to be, you know, long and in the breeze. I feel like this also could be something that you want, like you want your hair to grow long. This person has them in Bantu knots, which is, I know, Nigerian, probably other countries in Africa too, but I know Nigerian, so you may be Nigerian, or at least interested in Nigerian cultures. But I do feel like that's something else that you want. Like you want to be able to let your hair down. You want your hair to be celebrated. It's a huge thing. This is coming up. A huge thing with Black people, African people, where people like to touch our hair. And so, like I remember my aunt, she didn't want to send her daughter to school with an afro, not because she wasn't proud, but because her daughter went to a predominantly non-Black school, and she didn't want the other students, because, you know, at 5 and 6, they have, you know, less boundaries, you know. She didn't want the students to touch my cousin's hair and like put gum in it, you know, or snip it or something. Like I've had somebody like put a pencil in my afro when I was on the bus. Like people want to touch it, and so I feel like what you want is like that freedom to be able to, and this is a metaphor, you want that freedom to be able to let your hair down, wear your afro or wear your locks or wear your waves, whatever you have on your head, without people touching on it and messing with it. That's what you want. This person has a crown or tiara on their head. And this person has like these beautiful hair pieces or earrings. And this one has, like I said, these Bantu knots and then this hat. Like you want to be able to share your pride of where you come from and who you are and your unique genetics without them being interfered with from the outside. And you know, actually right now, I feel much better. It was something so strong at the beginning of this reading where I just felt like maybe Spirit doesn't want me to do this reading, but I asked, and I didn't even plan on doing this reading today. I was actually alerted to this. Is this the power I'm going to say this now? I don't think so. I need to hurry up, but let's move on. It's going away now, and I think there's a reason for that. So we have the Son of Pentacles. Scooch this up. We have the, what's it called? 6 of Cups. Yeah, 6 Cups. And we have the Lovers. And we have the Emperor. These are beautiful. Yeah, I feel much better. And you know what? I've actually like experienced a tornado, and right before and during it, like there's a lot of pressure in the air. Like your ears start to pop. The windows in my house started to break because the pressure was so intense, and it sounds like a train. It sounds like a choo-choo train, like very loud, but like everywhere. And it's gone. It happens really quickly, which I was very grateful for. And I feel like this is a message from Spirit. Like if you feel like this intensity, like I was describing at the beginning, like it will pass. It has no choice but to pass, and it's not yours. So you don't have to like I don't know, interfere with it or interact with it. With this Six of Cups coming up, Six of Cups is a card that always reminds me of like things from the past returning. Excuse me. So it's like these roots, the root chakra again, impacting this tree. And I feel like with that card cranking up, you're at a phase in your life right now where these things that used to impact you unknowingly, you're using them to grow very healthily. This tree looks very healthy to me. Even with this Four of Swords, that's the bottom of the deck, it's like, oh, you stabbed me, but I'm okay. Like, I'm doing good. Like, I still trust my third eye. I'm still, like, led by spirit. Like, I still got it, even though, like, despite the swords that try to stab me and take me down, I have faith and I trust myself. I trust spirit. So with these also being something you want, with this Lover's card and the Knight of Pentacles, the Son of Pentacles, I feel like you do want a romantic relationship to have stability. This could be a romantic relationship that you're already in, or just, you know, one that you want to manifest. So with your job or whatever your occupation or this hobby, whatever it is for you, because this is a general reading, I feel like you want to have like your career or your hobby, like I said, and you want a relationship too. And I feel like you might be wondering, like, how is stability going to prevail in a connection that requires me to have movement? Like, how am I going to be stable like this buck if me and my lover will have to be on the move? Because I do feel like this is something that is very artful, artsy, and I feel like it requires you to be at different places. But I feel like Spirit is saying like that's nothing to worry about. Like, love doesn't have a border. Yeah, with this Emperor, a lot of like masculine energy for you, like these trees, and then this buck, this sun. Yeah, I feel like what you want is like somebody to show up for you and to help you and hold you down. I feel like you won't ask for this because you seem like a very independent person, but I feel like that's what you do want. Like, now that you've healthified yourself, you're healthy, you're in a healthy space, and you're not letting your past like rule your present. Like, you're in control of how your past exists in your present life. You want an emperor now. Like, you want somebody, this is above gender, you want somebody to be stable and a pillar for you. That's what you want. Okay, so I feel like let's get some sort of advice from Spirit. I think I'm just going to read from this book, The Emperor. Just number 4. Protection, stability. The Emperor is the father. He's the tarot's perfect counterpart to the Empress. He represents the side of you that's protective, decisive, and truly stable. He brings clarity of mind, and this in turn leads to actions or decisions. Sometimes this card is literal and points to a potential partnership or to a paternal relationship. Sorry, that's interesting. That's a potential partnership. Points to a paternal relationship in your life. At other times, it suggests reconnecting with the part of you that stands strong and tall and knows just what to do. With the help from the sun, the Emperor can see for miles and miles. So I feel like for some of you, what you also want is a great connection with your father, your actual father or father figure. You want that connection to be very supportive and strong. So please let me know in the comments if this reading resonated. I wish you the best. Thank you for watching. Feel free to donate. There's a link in the description, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, pile 2. Sorry, I'm just clearing out the air from pile 1. I'm hearing a song. I think it's called like All the Lights or All the Stars. It's by Ed Sheeran. It's like, and I can see the lights from America now. I saw the stars and thought of you. Something like that. It's like, all of the lights will see. Believe. Something like that. I think it's All the Stars. So I'm going to go ahead and start this What Do You Want reading with a quote from this book. It's The Overnight Guest by Heather Goodenkoff. What do they need to know? What do they want? I want to read this and end this. So the butler knocked on the door again. Still no answer. They didn't have time for this. Every minute that passed meant time lost from finding those kids who murdered the Doyles, or Dollies, I don't know. He knew he had to talk to June and Jackson Henley, but he'd be more useful doing something else in the meantime. He'd send a deputy back later. So it says, I didn't do anything, Jackson said, licking his lips nervously. They were looking for a dog. They didn't find him and went on their way. That's what Josie said too, Butler said. He wanted to make sure that Jackson knew the other girl was safe and talking. I thought you could walk around the property with me, show me where the girls were searching for the dog. I don't have to let you on my property, Jackson said, inching closer to the truck. I don't have to talk to you. Well, Jackson, Butler said conversationally, I don't believe this is actually your property. I believe it belongs to your mother. So this is very interesting. Pile 1 had to do with family in a different way, and very, I don't know, like off, like it was just one of the topics, but I feel like there's going to be a theme in these readings with family. I'm even seeing here these deer, and I saw a deer last night, a family of deer. But what I got from that quote, it's like being gaslit by your family, like being told that you don't have autonomy, or you don't have authority over your own self, and like also like using material abundance or material resources to make you feel small and make you feel like less than, like you don't actually have any worth, like using money or like ownership of property, even like health or something against you, like to make you feel like shit, like it make you feel like you can't escape and you need them. Because even with this, it's like the overnight guest, like this isn't your home, like they remind you like you're a guest here, but it's like because it's overnight that person had to stay there, so it's like you have no choice but to interact with them. I keep picking up on like health insurance, like a lot of people have their health insurance through their parents, a lot of young people, or health insurance through like their spouse or something like that. It could be like your family has like wealth, and so you go to like a family doctor, and it's like you need like to have, I don't know, some sort of medication, or you need to have a appointment with the doctor, and you have to go through them because it's a tough world, and that's the only like access that you have, is what I'm feeling. So I feel like one of the things that you want would be one for like this to come to light. So one of the things that I really like to do is like whenever I know I'm being gaslit, I'll go online and search up people who agree with what I'm picking up on. So you could probably go and look up like different types of like narcissistic parents, traits of narcissistic mothers, traits of narcissistic fathers. What do codependent families look like? What do egocentric families look like? And they can, like, having those details be talked about by somebody who is not like biased in your situation can be really helpful. So just like with Power 1, I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle these cards before I get into the reading, because I feel like once I start knowing what what these cards are, I won't need them anymore. So I have 2 new decks. This is Kim Krans, and this is Eugene, I think, Steinfeld or something like that. Someday I'll remember. Just gonna get some cards to clarify from this deck, and then I'm gonna use this deck to see what you're grateful for, because I wanted there to be an emphasis on gratefulness, because that's something that keeps coming up for me. And shuffle these really well. So I did use these for pile 1. Saw the star, or saw a star. So these cards are like, I don't give a crap, Jabria, how you want to shuffle. We want to come out now. So okay, let's do this one. Oh look, bottom of the deck is a star. Wow. So I feel like this is a message saying there is hope. I feel like what you want is hope. You want there to be other people like you, and there are. I feel like nobody is alone in their types of experiences, maybe like the specifics, but you'll be surprised by how many people there are that have put up with bullshit. Okay, so this deck is by, Eugene Fletcher. I don't know why it says Steinfeld. I don't know where the hell I got that from. Okay. I saw one that was sticking out. Another one. Okay. I say no. What's one more? There's pile 2 grateful for. Say no. This one. Bottom of the deck is lay the foundation. So I feel like something you would be grateful for, or perhaps that you are grateful for, is like the cracks showing in this family or in this situation. Like it's being revealed to you that the people around you are untrustworthy. So it's like you're grateful for it, but it's also one of those things where like, we'll laugh about this in a year. And right now it ain't funny. It's a feeling that I'm getting, that I'm picking up on. So these are laying face down. In pile 1, they were stubborn and like revealed themselves to me, even though it wasn't time. So we have Eos, light. We have Gredilad, self-care, probably mispronouncing that. And we have the marvelous Serena Williams. So this is perfect because Serena Williams, she has this movie about her childhood, kind of, called King Richard. Yeah. And I always thought it was interesting because I kept mispronouncing the film. Well, not mispronouncing, I kept saying that the name wrong, and I would call it Richard King. And if I'm not mistaken, Richard King is a person who was brutally beat by the police, I think in California, but I could be wrong. But either way, there's some guy, and his last name was King, where he, like, it was one of the first like recorded videos of police brutality where like the police, I think they beat him to death. And I'm sorry if this is triggering, but this is like, welcome to my world. This is something that you deal with often in America, and especially as a Black person. This is our life. For now, anyways. This is ending. But anyways, yeah, and I'm feeling that because the movie King Richard, and I kept saying Richard King, like the guy who was beat by the police. I felt like when I saw King Richard, and even when I saw the movie, it was one of the first times that I could remember seeing a Black man be supportive of his Black daughters. Even now, I can't really think of another movie like that. I think kind of in the movie Love and Basketball, but her dad was like, he only had a few scenes, whereas this movie was all about the father-daughter relationship. And I remember like feeling that in the movie, even though, you know, the character, you know, who was played by Will Smith had his faults, her dad in the movie, he was still like supportive of his black daughters. And I don't know, like I said, it's something that you don't see online. So I felt like they were kind of healing that Richard King case by making this movie called King Richard, like they were taking it back. But then, as I'm sure you know, Will Smith, during that Oscars that year, before he won the Oscar for this role of King Richard, he went on stage and slapped Chris Rock, a fellow black man. And it's like, it was tainted again. It's like, it was tainted from the Richard King police brutality incident, and then it was healed a little bit by King Richard, and then it was tainted again by Will Smith's infamous slap. And so I feel like that's something with your family, like, maybe you like idolized them a lot when you were younger, specifically possibly your father, but it doesn't have to be your grandfather, your uncle, either one or all of them, doesn't matter. Like you idolized them when you were younger, but then you saw, I don't know, like something corrupt in them, and then like you healed it over, and then like it got back to ugly again. Or maybe it was the opposite. Maybe it started off ugly, but then you love them, and then it got bad again. Like it's like something like that, like this roller coaster of thinking things are good, but then something happens and it's not good. And so I feel like with this EOS and even this self-care, like Spirit brought to light, like this person is flying to this person, like Spirit brought to light that you would be better off like holding the candle to yourself, like lighting the way for yourself, rather than constantly trying to like interact with these people in your family. So I feel like that's something that you also want, obviously, since these are the what you want cards. Like you want the highlight of your life to be on self-care and loving yourself. Like you want to be the main character in your story versus always having to take care of your family, or always having to deal with these manipulative tendencies of your family, and them self-sabotaging and therefore self-sabotaging you. Like I said earlier about something with insurance policies, like if they're not on their shit, then you miss out on your opportunities. Like you're tired of that link and being connected to them. You want to shine on your own is what you want, which is what Serena Williams did, as well as Venus. They did it very well, and they continue to do it. I know Serena Williams is a parent, and I believe her husband's name is Alexis, and I think her daughter is like a junior, like named after her husband. And I feel like that's something as well. Like instead of like a son being named after his father, it's a daughter being named after her father. So here again is that connection of like healing that father-daughter connection. Clarifying cards is Mother of Wands, the Moon, Death, beautiful, and Two of Wands. These are so beautiful. I feel like pile 2, I feel like you are very beautiful, but it also is like more than your physical body. I don't know, I feel like it's like Serena Williams. I feel like she's stunning, but not in a very like Hollywood kind of way. You know what I mean? Like it's her physical body as well as like her energy, like what she carries. And I feel like you have that. You might also be quite strong or a thicker person, like with muscles or, you know, thicker arms. So what you want is to protect the future generations to come. If you have children or you plan on having children, what you want is to protect them from like the sins of your family's past, your family's history. I'm picking up on that docu-series, what was it called, Our Father, where like he had all those different kids. And I know that was something with Serena Williams' father. Like I said, he had his quirks, as in he had other children outside his marriage. And so there might be something like that here, like where your father had a second family or had like kids by different women outside of like your family. and like maybe you didn't find out until later. And so what you want is to like protect your children from that. Like you want to have a spouse, a partner who does not have infidelity issues, who does not have like an outside thing going on. You want all your eggs to be in one nest, in one basket. You might also be a person who wants to have like one baby father, or one baby mother, or one baby person, like, you know, just one person that you have your children with and not multiple. That might be very important for you. You know, not to judge anybody else, but that's what you want, I believe. The moon, like I said before, like you want all this to come to light. You want it to come to light, like I was saying earlier here. Like you're glad that it's being revealed that shit ain't sweet, but shit ain't sweet. Like you're happy for the cracks in the foundation, but you're not happy like that it's happening. It's clear space, clear mind is the next card. I'll show it to you because it's cute. Like clear your space, clear your mind. You're happy that everything is being cleared out and revealed. Like these trees are inverted, like the light of the trees are coming out. Like you're happy for that. And what you want is like this to just fucking end finally. Like you want this to be free, like free of like all this mess and trauma and all these bones coming out of the closet. Like you're just like, oh my gosh, like, can we be done with this? It's this Two of Wands. That's like you want things to speed up. Like you want things to like click and spark, but they're just about to. Like it hasn't happened yet. Like you want this to be over with. It looks like somebody has like held these sticks so much that they became darker than the rest of the parts. Like you've been thinking about this a lot and like wanting this to move faster a lot. And I feel like one of the messages from Spirit could be that like, stop holding on so much to the timeline of things. Stop worrying about this so much, and that's when it'll speed up. That's when it'll flow. That's when it'll be going quicker if you take your attention off of the timing aspect of it. It could even be something timing with children or something, or you and your partner, or getting a partner. I don't know. But Spirit is saying like let go of the time. I'm getting that movie, what's it called? A Man Called of, you know, I'm not that. It's a book by Frederick Beckman, and it's a movie with Tom Hanks, another man, another paternal figure, I think, for everybody. Like I feel like he's a paternal figure to me. And like, I don't know, I feel like he was very like particular, and even the family that he ended up becoming family with, like they showed him like, don't, the less you try to force things to stay the same or get rid of something, or, you know, let go of the timing aspect of it, the more time flies by. And yeah, like the more time flies by and the more like you appreciate the timing of the natural way that Spirit is allowing things to flow, if that makes sense. But there are definitely people like you. You're not alone. You know, with the Strength card, reach out. I don't know, type stuff on the internet and figure out where other people are. So you have Desire, and then you have Feel the Feels. So I feel like I can relate to this. This is what you're grateful for, but I feel like it's also what you want. I feel like people coming from more traumatic family relationships have a harder time like relaxing in relaxing environments. So I'll give you an example. Like I'm a Black person, and so Black people typically, when we go into like stores, I was gonna say expensive stores, but it doesn't have to be an expensive store. It could be any store. Like the owners will watch you, the employees will watch you, because there's like this stereotype that you will steal things. And so it's like, imagine that person who's had to go their whole life like making sure to keep their hands visible and by their side at all the time. Like, don't go in the store with a big bag because they'll think you're stealing something. Like, make sure like you don't put your hands in your pockets too much because they're going to think something is in there. Like, having to be very overly hyper aware of how you appear to society in order to keep yourself safe. So imagine taking that person and putting them in an environment where nobody's watching them. Nobody has those racist stereotypes playing in their mind to attack them. It would be a very big adjustment to go from that defensive position to one of like pearls and beauty and life and vibrancy and dancing. I remember I went to this this cool antique thrift shop, and this is the things that I was thinking, like I make sure that I don't look suspicious. And I had a friend and it's crazy because her name is Frida and it sounds like Frida, like she's free. And she was just like picking up all this stuff and trying on all these things. And I was like, what? Like, how do you do that? How do you go in and like touch stuff without fear of being suspicious of theft? You know what I mean? And it's like observing that, like you wanna dance and you wanna be free like that. That's what you want. And I feel like it's something that you're grateful for, because maybe you do, or maybe you have like started to find people who are like you, or who you admire and want your life to be like you're not like, you don't want their exact life, but you want that mindset and that mentality that they have. I think I'm gonna read this one for your like message from spirit. Feel the feels. Sorry about the camera shaking. I apologize. Apollo might be important. I don't know. Feel the feels. Where you at? 51. 51. 50. 51. I don't know. Maybe you have an accent. Yumbos are fairies of Senegalese. So I believe that's African. Senegal. Senegalese folklore who live beneath hills, where they enjoy throwing lavish feasts. Their banquets, with which humans have been said to attend on occasion, are served by what appear to be disembodied hands and feet. When they run out of food, the Yumbos pay a visit to humans who are living nearby, taking what they need from pantries. Yumbos are associated with the home and with family. Holy shit, I didn't know that. Some sources even say they are the spirits of loved ones who have passed. They've been known to dance in the moonlight. When this card is drawn, give yourself to your feelings. This is a deeply emotional card, embedded with energy of the moon and and the body, which needs not only literal but spiritual nourishment to sustain itself, eat well, and dance in the moonlight. And if you can't find something in your pantry that you could have sworn was there, perhaps it was someone you love paying you a visit. This is what I mean. Like, you have support. You have more support than you know. And you know what I noticed when it said like you need sustenance? Ain't no pinnacles. These are no pinnacles down here. This is wands, moon, death, and wands. Like, you don't have any pinnacles. So yeah, I don't know, maybe eat more earthy things. Only if you want to. You don't have to listen to me at all. But do more, if not eating, like do something more grounding. Like, there's very little red as well here. Like red with the root chakra, you only have like a little bit. It's mostly like, I don't know, pinks and stuff. You don't have a lot of red. So grounding, or consuming things that are grounding foods, like to have sustenance, to make you feel stronger. And I don't know, that's the message I'm getting, so I don't want to explain anymore. So thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment if you resonated with this reading. Thumbs up, subscribe. You're welcome to donate if you feel called to do so. There's a link in the description. Thank you for all your support, and I'll see you next time. Pile 3. Oh, Lord. I said that because my shorts were uncomfortable. And I heard this song in my head like, I hope you know that this is nothing to do with you. And instead of like the song, I'm sure the song is a message, but it's like, it's this feeling of like singing to sing so you don't look weird. You know what I mean? Like, you're not actually singing because you want to sing the song. You're singing as like a coping or defensive mechanism. So what I'm remembering is this memory I have of being in high school, and I was getting ready to like be in a car with somebody I had a crush on. And so I just was singing this song obsessively, and it's this song by Nick Jonas, or sang by Nick Jonas, from the Camp Rock movies. And he was like, I like cheese, but only on pizza, please. Sometimes on a homemade quesadilla, otherwise it smells like feet to me. And I just started singing this song like over and over. And it's because like I was so nervous, and so I was like fixating on the song to make me appear like I was interesting, as well as like to avoid awkward silence and avoid potential conversation. And it's ironic. This is something that I did a lot when I was younger. I would like do the opposite of what I wanted. Like what I wanted, right, would be to talk to my crush and like be close to them. But I never did that. I always ran away from people I liked. I always tried to distance myself as much as possible from people that I was actually interested in. And this is definitely something that I've certainly carried on into my like adult life. Yeah, like if I really like somebody and I'm really interested in them, I'll do this thing where I like run away from them like as much as possible and like try to avoid conversation with them. And I feel like it stems from like this fear of authority. Because like when I like somebody that much, I kind of put them on a pedestal above me, and like so I don't want to like disappoint this authority figure. And so rather than risk disappointing them, I avoid them at all costs. So I feel like this is something that might be coming up in your reading about what you want. Before we get started, I'm going to get a quote from a book. The book we have for you, sorry about the shaking camera. What? I just realized the book. I can't even remember what book I had gotten. But look, Gone Girl. I literally was just talking about like being gone, like dipping out. That's crazy. So this is by Gillian Flynn, and hopefully we can land on a page that is, what's it called? Appropriate. If not, I'll just go to a different one. But I'm seeing Ice Pick Sharp, and it's reminding me of Ice Spice. I don't know, I remember also, I feel like Ice Spice wasn't around. I feel like she just didn't exist. And then like I bleeped into a different reality, and like she was very popular. I don't know. I remember saying it in a reading, like I was like, where the hell did Ice Spice come from? It's like she was well known to people, but I'd never heard of her. And they were saying like Nicki Minaj posted about her the other day, and I'm like, no, she didn't. I'm like, I follow Nicki Minaj. I didn't see that post. It was weird. I feel like there might be something like that with you as well. Like also with this theme of like gone, like something wasn't there and then it was, or something was there and then it wasn't. Okay. I think I want to read this. Okay, let's read this as well. Or maybe just this, I don't know. Of course you're fine with ending it. Oh no, I'm gonna start here. Okay. I was back in Carthage before dinner time. It was strange. Once Tanner swept Andy from the picture, once it became clear that she simply couldn't stay, how quickly I accepted it, how little I mourned her. On that night, 2-hour flight, I transitioned from in love with Andy to not in love with Andy. Like walking through a door. Our relationship immediately attained a sepia tone, the past. How odd that I ruined my marriage over that little girl with whom I had nothing in common with, except that we both liked a good laugh and a cold beer after sex. Of course you're fine with ending it. Go would say. It got hard, but there was a better reason. Amy was blooming large in my mind. She was gone, and yet she was more present than anyone else. I'd fallen in love with Amy because I was the ultimate Nick with her. Loving her made me superhuman. It made me feel alive. At her easiest, she was hard because her brain was always working. I had to exert myself just to keep pace with her. I'd spend an hour crafting a casual email to her. I became a student of Arcana so I could keep her interested. The late poets, the Code Duello, the French Revolution. Her mind was both wide and deep, and I got smart being with her, and more considerate and more active and more alive and almost electric, because for Amy, love was like drugs or booze or porn. There was no plateau. Each exposure needed to be more intense than the last to achieve the same result. So it looks like I'm not going to be reading the other part after all. But I feel like what I got from that was this reading is going to have to do with romantic relationships because, you know, that's what I said at the beginning. And also that's what I got from the book. And maybe like about breaking patterns. But you know, what's interesting is that I was thinking this while not doing it. So while I was reading, I was thinking about how when I've been reading lately, I've been having to go back and reread the paragraph over and over because I've been very anxious. But I also know that when I read good books, even if I'm anxious, even if I'm stressed, I don't have the issue. If it's a really good book, no matter how much my mind is zooming, I will remember, like it will catch and grab my attention. And that's why I feel like you feel about this person, because I feel like this person could be a divine counterpart and they changed the game. I feel like with people in the past or people before them or maybe even people after them, when you read these other people's pages, you find yourself somewhat interested, but you also are thinking a million things while reading their pages. But with this person, like how I felt reading that book, I think that was the first time in a while where I like read 2 whole paragraphs without thinking about something else. Like it captured my whole full attention. So I feel like there's also something about this person, which is most likely divine counterpart, where when you're with them, when you touch them, when you kiss them, when you hug them, you feel 100% present. And I feel like that is something that can be extremely addicting and extremely hard to release, especially to a person who has anxiety, which is interesting because I just saw the trailer for Turtles All the Way Down last night. So to clarify these cards of what you want, we're going to get Kim Krans Tarot to clarify. And then because I want this reading to focus on gratefulness as well, we're going to get a fairy oracle card to see what you are grateful for. So, shuffle these bad babies really well. Excuse me. Yeah, that Nick Jonas song. If you want to know, here it goes. Gonna tell you this, a part of me that shows from the goals, and I'll let you see everything. Remember that you asked for it. I tried to do my best to impress, but it's easy if I let you take a guess with the best. And I hear what there's in my brain. Remember that you asked for it, and you're cruising. At times confusing, hopefully amusing. Introducing me. Do 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 da da na na. Introducing me, something like that. I don't know, the song is like, it's kind of like a warning, like, remember that you asked for this. So I don't know, maybe you asked for this person. I feel like this is somebody you already know, and then when you got them, they were more devastating than you thought, but I feel like in a good way. There's a song called Mona Lisa, and it's by Feminist, you know, Billie Eilish's brother, big brother. And I think there's a line where it's like I should have known better. Like, I thought she was gonna borrow my heart, but now she owns it. and now I'm only borrowing it back from her. Like, I should have known. Like, it's like he underestimated how much this woman would change his life. Like, he's like, I should have known. And I feel like that's how you feel. Like, you knew that you liked this person and you knew you wanted them, but you didn't know that you would fall so deeply in love with them that it would be beyond anything you previously experienced. And I'm talking like beyond past lives as well. And it's, your cards are coming out differently. Like, usually they fall out while I'm shuffling, but yours are just introducing themselves like on their own. Like, they just fall out. This was the card that came out in pile 2. So we'll shuffle again for the bottom of the deck. This one. King. Yeah. Getting King of My Heart by Taylor Swift. Like, she's like, body and soul, ooh, oh, and all at once, you're all I want, and I've been waiting for, King of My Heart. A lot of music with you. A lot of music, I feel like, is used to, I don't know, communicate in this connection. Maybe y'all, like, started talking because of music or a song or something. I don't know. Music is important, but I'm getting King of My Heart by Taylor Swift. Let's continue. I guess, what do you want out of this relationship, out of this connection? I feel like it's more accurate for you. This card, when I was shuffling the deck, I kept seeing it and I kept having to put it in. I'm like, okay, if you want to come out, you got to come out on your own. And it came out. She came out for this group. So I feel like there's a lot of divine timing, a lot of divine happenings. Like, trust that this connection is going to be there, but it's going to come out exactly when it needs to come out. It's going to unfold in exactly the way that it needs to unfold. And so this person's, their eyes are closed. The third eye is open. So I feel like close your eyes and just, I don't know if you heard that little click. Close your eyes and just allow, and now like you hear that woo, like that sound from the wind. Like it's happening spiritually. Like, you don't have to handle it because it's flowing. Atar gatis. Zochiketia. I'm probably y'all saying it horribly. Anyways, gratitude. Phoebe Waller Bridge. So I feel like what you want out of this connection, what I felt with this one, you want it to mean something. I feel like, see, I don't know if you hear that. That loud shout from my sister, like, good, that was smart. These yellow butterflies, like, you want this connection to like have meant something. I feel like it changed you so much. For some people, you might have lost your virginity to this person, or you basically lost your virginity to this person. I feel like there was something very like innocent and untouched about you until this person, like you left your red scarf there, okay? I'll just say that. You left your red scarf there. Like, I don't know, maybe this is your first time like kissing somebody, or you never kissed anybody like this. Like, even if you had done things before, you never did certain things before until with this person. You never held on to somebody. I remember there's one of my favorite movies, which is obviously therefore one of the best movies of all time, is My Best Friend's Wedding. And there's this scene at the baseball game when her and Nick, you know, Julia Roberts' character, and her best friend, who is played by, what's his name, Dermot. But anyways, they're standing at this rail, and Julia Roberts' character is asking him, like, what's different about this connection that you have with the woman the character that Cameron Diaz is playing, and our relationship that we had back in the day. And he was like, when we were dating, Jules is what he calls her. When we were dating Jules, you never let me hold you in public. Like, every time I tried to like hold on to you, you'd run away, you'd get out. But she, the woman that is played by Cameron Diaz, she lets me hold her as long as I want. And so this is what I feel like, what I was saying at the beginning, how like when I really like people, like I get really like desperate to be away from them. I feel like this person, even though there might have been butterflies in your stomach and they made you nervous, you liked being around them. You liked like being in their gravity and touching them. Where I feel like with other people, you might have had this thing where like, even if you liked being around them, after a while you wanted to be on your own. I've had this as like a HSP, a highly sensitive person, and as an empath, I can't be around anybody, that long. It exhausts me, even if they're like great and have great energy. Excuse me. But when I was around my twin flame or my divine counterpart, my mate, that doesn't happen. It's like, it's indescribable almost, but it's the opposite of that. Like, it's like, it's not there's not a ticking clock of when you'll be tired of like them. And it's not to say that they can't irritate you or, get on your nerves, but their energy, it's like a beacon almost, that's like, it's constantly renewing itself, so that you want to start over again and again and get more and be more around them. Rather than the opposite of that would be like this clock ticking down. And so I feel like with this Phoebe card, like this person looks like they put in a lot of work, but these pages are blank. You want it to mean something. Like, you want it not to be over, and you want it to have counted. Like, what does it mean that this was the first person where I felt like this with, where I had these experiences with, and now, like, what's it for? Was it all for nothing? Like, I met this person, they changed my life, but like, they're gone now, or like, what's the next thing that comes from it? Bottom of the deck is the what is this? Six of Swords. Oh, that fell. That's crazy. And then look, the Chariot card. And also, I don't think anything is a coincidence. I think everything, wow, look at that, is a part of the reading. What? I thought it was just one card. I'm like, where the hell did the other card go? I had to pick it up off the floor. This card. Wow. Okay. Yeah, my sister came in looking for Kitty the cat. And I feel like that's what I mean. Like that never happens, where I have people come in like in my room during a reading. And so I feel like, and I didn't expect that. So I feel like there's something with this connection where like you're letting go, but you're also reminiscing. And then you're also like, what's it gonna be? It can't just have all been for nothing. And then right when you're like thinking that, you get a message, like, or something happens very quickly. That happened very quickly. My sister came in, and then I dropped this card, and when I dropped this card, this was revealed. And when I went to pick up this card was on the floor, and I was like, what the hell? It's supposed to be this card. And so it's like these grays, it's like this was completely black and white, and then this is a Chariot, but it has like these little red things on the side, and then boom, Ace of Wands. So it's like there's going to be some sort of progression. It's going to be this, like Six of Wands, but the last one is, no, why do I keep saying Wands? Six of Swords. So it's like this leaving or ending kind of energy, but it's being cheeky, like I'm not gone. And then there's this one sword that's hidden left, like it's not over. And then boom, there is movement with the Chariot card. Look at that, even the Hermit. The Chariot card, and it's like these little red are telling you that something else more is going on behind the scenes. And then boom, it's like this offering from Spirit. This is not just an offering from this person, it's an offering from Spirit through this person. Like, here you go, I love you. I feel like you and this person, or this person loving you, and especially them like reappearing in your life so brightly, it's also a love letter from Spirit. So it's a gift from Spirit saying, I love you. Like, I love you. Here you go. And I feel like this process, like a part of it, like what was it worth? I feel like you've had a lot of time in hermit mode. It's been to get you primed to be able to receive, to allow yourself to receive this. Because like I said, when describing myself, I have a lot of these like issues that I love about myself where like, if I want it, I stay away from it. And so I feel like a part of this journey, this isolation, was to get you warmed up to receiving more and more, being receptive, being open to receiving things. I feel like you might, because I have this where I don't like when people, or I didn't like when people gave me what I didn't ask for. I'm like, no, I don't deserve this. Take it back. Take it back. I don't want this. And so, everything within is without. Everything within you is also is going to show up on the outside of you. And so I feel like, I don't know, this is also you. This is why it's twins, because it's like, this is your person, like, being cheeky, like, I left, but did I? This is also you saying, like, I don't want this, but I do. Like, it's like the both of you at the same time. That's why the Chariot card is usually more than one, like, horse, but this one is just one horse. It's just one. Like, you two are the same. You're one, and you don't need, I was about to say anybody else or anything else, but, like, it's true. Like, you don't. I feel like the two of you would be happy just wanting to just, I don't know, in a little cottage in the woods. You would, like, forget all about, like, the rest of the world. I don't know, but with this person wearing a chain of, like, this pentacle, it's like, this is here to stay. And I feel like you know that because this energy hasn't gone away. You know that this connection is here to stay, and that's why you've been wondering, like, what is it good for? Holy shit. There's so many accidents in this reading. I didn't mean to leave this here. So many accidents, but like I said, even your cards came out like accidents. Like I said, I usually shuffle and they just fall out. But these, like, were telling me, like, oh no, I want to come out. Like, it seems accidental, coincidental, inconsequential, but it's not. And I feel like this is why you need to let go and just have faith that Spirit is going to give you this, because you'll see, like, where you see fault, you see accidents, Spirit is actually making miracles happen. And I love this Temperance card because it's, like I said, it's balanced, and it's this fire raging, but it's also these tears. Like, the tears are fueling the fire. You would think that tears would dampen it, but it's making it better. So you would think that time and separation and failure, so splitting up, would mean the end of it, but it's only going to make it more passionate. I feel like some people are like, what, more passionate than it was before? Yes. If you and this person already had, like, very intense, like, sexual attraction and chemistry, this separation, this tears, this grief, this crying fox phase, after, like, it's only fueled the fucking fire. It's gonna be even more intense. So I would say keep your body healthy. Keep your body healthy, because yeah, okay. So finally gonna turn these over. We have the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. We have the Fool, which I feel like is wish fulfillment. We have the Strength, holy shit. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. You have three major arcana, 4 major arcana, and this is one of the, what's it called, like the royal, like, family cards. I don't know, it's like I forgot the way this deck described it, but I feel like I am gonna read, like, one of these cards, probably this Ace of Wands or the Temperance. But I feel like what you want, this is also, I feel like, what your person wants. That's how connected and intertwined the two of you are. Like, what you want is also just what they want. It's so crazy, because I feel like there is separation here, but there's not. I feel like you think that you and this person are so separate because perhaps y'all aren't talking and maybe haven't talked in a while. You maybe think they've changed or they don't want you anymore, or that it's over, but it's like, it was never ever over. And like I said, if anything, it's gotten more intense. It's gotten more passionate, gotten more, like, in love. And that's what they want. Like, they want to offer you something. It's like, this branch is here. I don't know, I feel like it's beyond the typical, like, oh, I want to get back together, or I want to be, I don't know, married to you. It's bigger than that. It's like, I don't want just that. I want to live with you. Like, I want to have life with you. I want to have peace with you. Like, I'm done with all the bullshit from the past. Like, both of you have this thing, like I said, where you liked to allow chaos to get in because you felt like you didn't deserve peace. So you would run away from what you wanted. And so you have both healed that, or at least accepted it about yourself and become aware of it and loved it up. And it's like, you know, now I'm done. I don't want what I don't want anymore. I want to be happy. And so it's like this peace. Like, I love this 9 of Cups. It's not busy, you know? It's very simple, but it's full. It's giving me Hawaii vibes, like how the people live there. It's very like, you know, mahalo. I don't even know what that means, but that's what I'm getting. So what are you grateful for? Tipping point. I feel like this is what you're about to be grateful for. This card came out in pile 1. You're about to be grateful for things changing. Yeah, and like this mud and this density that you've been through, it's gonna all be worth it. Because I feel like this person or this being is planting flowers, and you probably hate it. And the Hermit card showed this, like a tortoise or a turtle. Like, you probably hated this time of like this damn turtle, but they were planting flowers during this time. This is not a passive time. It might have seemed like a passive time, but I'm telling you, it was only fueling this connection and making it bigger. I could go on. I really could. And I might. Would dream on. Go on, and I will. Skies grew darker, currents swept you out again, and you were just gone and gone and gone and gone. There's a song called This Love by Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is all over this reading, so Taylor Swift might also be involved in this connection. But it's like, this love is good, this love is bad, this love is alive back from the dead. Oh. It's like, this love is alive back from the dead, and it's because it wasn't dead, it was gestating. It was, you know, seeds that are under the ground. It seems like there's nothing happening. Like I said, with this muck, like all you saw was the density and heaviness, and you probably saw the tops of these. But underneath it were these big ass flowers, these big ass buds getting ready to pop open. And I don't know, I feel like you are right here now where you're like all flourished and stuff, and you're waiting for like this anticipatory moment to erupt. I don't know which one I'm gonna read. I feel like this one and perhaps the Temperance card. Let's see. Temperance is what? 14?